Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. I'm J.E. Skeet, back in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, he's hungry like a wolf. It's the bearded one, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
Hey-o! And over yonder, making the magic happen, filling in for our super producer, it's Eshwa Kid.
How y'all doing?
There he is. What's up, Ash? No Tass, no JD. Those legends will be back soon enough. We have had quite a bit of fun this summer, getting creative with the content kings here in the No Dunks Classic Factory. We did Summer of Champions.
Yeah.
That was 17 straight nights of me and my wife doing Paris Olympics coverage. That was unique. Tass brought back the iconic Say What?
Great stuff.
Which you knocked out of the park. You know, spoilers, but you crushed that one.
Yeah.
We did a squad episode where we drafted the perfect house, and we've hit the beach, and we talked baseball on No Bunts, and we did the up-down report. We've done a lot of things here, but this is I'm boldly saying that this show right here, this podcast, out trumps them all. I think it's the most crazy and creative one yet. Is that fair to say?
I think it's going to be good. I think you're right, Skeets. Not many basketball podcasts out there are doing a book club. And if they are, they're certainly not doing it for a cookbook written by an NBA legend. But that's what we're doing today. We're going to be reviewing Shaquille O'Neal's Shaqs Family Style Championship Recipes for Feeding Family and Friends, a cookbook Shaq released in 2022. We're going to go through some of the recipes, some of the funny stuff that Shaq writes. He makes a lot of references to things that have happened in his life, which then just sent me down Wikipedia rabbit holes, which would then lead to YouTube rabbit holes. There's some great stuff in here. And I got to give a shout out to my mother-in-law, Jana. Found this at a garage sale. Gave it to me for Father's Day when we were back home in Chicago earlier this summer. I started reading. Laura and her mom are just chatting, catching up, and I'm just dying laughing in the chair, reading through Shaq. Whoa, he mentioned Taco Bell. Whoa, Skeets, the original soup, man. There's so much crazy stuff in here that when I finish, I'm like, we got to go through this whole book.
She got this book at a garage sale? It looks like in perfect condition. The person that first got this never opened it.
Hey, their loss, our win.
I know. I'm very excited. So, and do we know how much?
No, it probably says on the back. Let's see how much this is. This would be $30 United States, $40 in Canada. But if you bought it at Target, you get it 30% off. So about $20, not bad.
And if you buy it at a garage sale, $5.
That seems like probably a steep price. I would go $3.
Again, it's in perfect condition.
Yeah. What would you mark that at your garage sale? $5?
Yeah, $5 with the hopes I get $2 or $3.
I'll give you $3.
Yeah.
Throw in a baseball card, please. Anyways, the book is Shaq's Family Style, written by Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, yeah, sure.
With assistance from Rachel Holtzman, a former book editor turned cookbook author.
Okay.
Matthew Silverman and Matthew Piekarski are Shaq's executive chef partners, and there's some beautiful photos in here from Eva Kalenko.
Okay.
Now, the first question is pretty obvious, Skeets. Why did Shaq write a cookbook?
Good question.
Luckily, he addresses that right away on page 1. Take a look here and give me a read, Skeets.
Okay. I know what you might be thinking. What is a basketball Hall of Famer doing writing a cookbook? What could I possibly know about food and cooking? Well, I'm going to tell you something. You don't get to be 7'1", 325 with a 7'4" wingspan and size 22 feet without knowing a thing or two about how to eat.
Bars.
As I like to say, I got a G14 classification, the special clearance you get when you've won titles, for knowing a thing or two about a thing or two, and that includes what makes for a good meal. Oh, God.
Exactly. Yeah, I know, man. I read it. I was 100% in. I was like, G14 classification in the first 3 paragraphs, and that's exactly what this book is like. If you have ever seen anything Shaq has done in the 30 years he's been a part of our lives,
right,
it's probably mentioned at some point in this book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's almost like a Shaqtionary, kind of just all of the things he's done in his life. The recipes, however, are organized into 7 sections. First section, that's BBQ Chicken, all the hits. Oh. Number 2, MDE. What do you think it stands for?
Well, MDE.
MDE.
Well, most dominant ever, but
you would think that.
But something dinner extravaganza,
Not bad.
what?
My dinner extravaganza. No, meals done easy.
Oh, okay, yeah, done easy. Okay.
I love pancakes. Breakfast for dinner. Sandwiches all day. Enough said. Shaq Diesel. Fuel for when you want things healthy-ish. The Big Aristotle. Meals for a crowd. And it ain't over till there's banana pudding. Dessert.
What? Okay, so we have banana pudding.
Banana pudding will be in this for sure. Shaq says on page 5, the recipes you'll find here are inspired by a combination of things, mostly recipes I know I can make, things from my childhood, things I love to eat, places I've been, people I love, things I believe in, and of course, some of my world-famous inventions.
Okay.
You know, like every cookbook. Things I like to eat and things I can make. That's what I would put into. Not just to throw it in there. So great stuff, though. But this is definitely for the Shaq fan of your life. I would say, like, I've become more of a Shaq fan since he retired, even more so than I was when he was playing. My sister was in the Shaq World fan club way back when.
What was that?
I don't know. All I know is she got like a notepad every once in a while with a cool Shaq logo on it. Oh. So I found it in my mom's basement and I kept it. Sorry,
so
Kenzie.
she wrote to something and then was on some mailing list. Okay.
Yeah, no surprise there was like random Shaq stuff back even when he was playing. But like I said, this book is chock full of references to basically everything Shaq has done. The first one that really stuck out to me was on page 56, where Shaq is talking about hide and seek chicken. Go ahead, Skeets.
I've always been a fan of making people laugh. Putting on all kinds of crazy costumes, playing practical jokes, attempting to hide behind way too small things. You know, that's how we normally say that. I don't believe in taking life too seriously, but I do believe in showing up and working hard. I'm a lot like this dish.
Yeah, there we go. Hide and seek chicken. A chicken noodle rice casserole. That's a lot like what Shaq is like. But he said that, I was like, I do remember Shaq hiding behind way too small things. He loves it.
He does love it. I mean, it's a funny bit.
Yeah,
you're
it's a funny
7'1",
bit.
325. There's not many things you can hide behind.
There's not very many things, especially not a crepe myrtle tree downtown Atlanta. On page 83, he says, I like these oatmeal muffins because there was once a petition to officially change the name of a certain brand of rolled oats to Shaquille O'Neal. I couldn't actually find the petition, but I'm sure it exists.
A petition.
Shaquille O'Neal.
I mean, at some point, I don't know, 30, 40 years from now, there will be a Shaq product for everything imaginable because we're already at least 50% of the way there.
Just wait. Just wait, Skeets. There's even more references in here. On page 126, we get a full retelling of an Onion article from when Shaq was on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Shaq misses entire second half with pulled pork sandwich. And then it's like...
This is referenced in the cookbook?
Yes, this is for his recipe for a pulled pork sandwich. This is the little blurb at the top talking about a time he had to sit out the second half of a game because he had a pulled pork sandwich instead of, a pulled hamstring or something like that.
I didn't get that actually for a second.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah.
There's a recipe that references the Shaq holding things subreddit, which is just a bunch of pictures of Shaq holding things that are smaller than him. He's like, update it, I'm holding vegetables. In this one. He holds a lot of stuff in this book, if I'm being honest. He mentions on page 151, it was one thing to play big fella in Uncle Drew, but my favorite of these references was on page 161. Shaq says, back in the 90s, I was diagnosed with TNS, taco neck syndrome.
Oh, wow.
This got a pop from me. Literally, a one-person pop sitting in the living room. Whoa! He mentioned taco neck syndrome. Of course, we had to pull the video. Let's watch the ad.
It now appears that Shaq is suffering from a neck injury.
Of course we're concerned. That's one valuable neck. It's not natural.
It's a conspiracy, man.
Shaq is suffering from taco neck syndrome, TNS. It's caused by his craving for delicious Taco Bell tacos. And he's getting worse with every neck-bending bite. But now there's a big breakthrough therapy. The new Big Beef Burrito from Taco Bell. Just 99 cents with double the beef. It is the perfect antidote for taco neck.
Wow.
Thanks to Dr. Rod Krimpenek for
What's that first guy's name? Wrangler?
Something Wrangler, like Jerry Wrangler.
Jerry Wrangler was the news reporter in that ad.
So good, man. I love taco neck syndrome. We watched on playback not too long ago, literally 1 hour straight. of Shaq commercials. So it must have been like 100 Shaq commercials. That's my favorite one. Taco neck syndrome.
Wow.
That was,
Number one Shaq commercial. It's a good commercial.
I probably would have it number one for me. Man, that'd be a impossible top 5.
I don't know. I love his work with the general.
Yeah. How do you pick just one, though?
I know, that's true. They all blend together.
On page 190, Shaq says, anytime I have St. Louis ribs in particular, they take me back to the time I challenged baseball legend, then St. Louis Cardinal, and all-around great guy Albert Pujols to a home run derby for my show, Shaq Versus.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Shaq
Well,
Versus?
that's the show. Was this the show that he maybe stole from Steve Nash?
Yes.
Is that right?
It is in the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I think like Nash mentioned something about how he would like to do a show going against other athletes in their sport. And Shaq's like, yeah, me too. And then he did it.
I'll do it.
So I think Nash ended up getting an executive producer credit as well.
Okay.
Pujols did win the home run derby, 16-10. But Shaq always had a handicap for these. And in this one, his home run fence was 250 feet to center field. Meanwhile, Pujols was 382.
Oh, whoa.
There's like a full baseball arena of people watching Shaq and Albert Pujols hit dingers in this.
When did they do it? Like before a game? After a game?
It was not a
Between a doubleheader?
It was not Busch Stadium.
Oh,
It looked
okay.
like a minor league arena somewhere. But if you ever want to see Shaq wearing a baseball uniform, he's got a crazy looking swing, man.
What else? I know he raced Michael Phelps.
He raced
in
Michael
the water.
Phelps. Okay, so the first season, there's 10 episodes total. First season, he faced Ben Roethlisberger. Then he played against Misty May Traynor and Kerry Walsh in beach volleyball. He went head-to-head in the ring against Oscar De La Hoya. And then, like you said, Michael Phelps, he actually beat Michael Phelps in a race.
Handicapped, yeah.
The handicap. 50-yard race for Phelps. Shaq got to start at the 25-meter mark and had a 5-second head start.
Whoa.
But he did win.
Okay.
Though Phelps came back to win the next couple of races, so that one went down as a loss for Shaq. The second season, he goes against athletes as well, but also against the spelling bee champ, Penn and Teller, Justin Bieber, and he lost a cook-off to Rachel Ray.
They ran out of sports. They're like, we gotta do other things.
Like, sorry, man, you did all the sports. You want to do hockey? He's like, no way. Shaq
Do we know his record? Like,
2-12-1.
Ooh, 2 wins. That's
Two
it.
wins. He got a tie. He got a tie because he beat Tyson Gay in a sprint, 30 meters to 60 meters. He beat Joey Chestnut 5-on-1 in a hot dog eating contest.
Wow.
5-on-1, literally 5-on-1. The 5 people, including Shaq, won 36-35 against Joey Chestnut.
Who were the other people?
I think they're just people. I think they're just regular people.
You were just minding your business, walking down the street one day. Some producer said, "Hey, you want to be on the Shaq show?" Yeah, sure. What do I got to do? You got to eat as many hot dogs as you can, and you better gobble them down. Or he's going to be pissed. Obviously, shout out to Joey Chestnut, who just won over Labor Day.
Yeah,
against our guy. Kobayashi. He crushed him.
He crushed him. He broke his own world record again. Yeah. Joey Chestnut is the most unbeatable champion in any discipline on earth. It's Katie Ledecky and Joey Chestnut. Unbeatable.
Yeah.
Unbeatable. We used to think Kobayashi was the greatest, man.
Oh, yeah.
We seen him chug a gallon of milk, no problem.
We tell that story every time this guy's name comes
Well,
up.
what else have we done with him? I saw him sing Obla Di Obla Da at karaoke once.
Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. Yes, he tried to eat the mic. The 2 things we always say about Kobayashi.
Okay, so that's a big win, though. Beating Joey Chestnut 5-on-1. Also, Shaq beat Charles Barkley in golf. And I think the second season was Shaq and Anthony Kim were a duo versus Chuck and Bubba Watson, though Shaq did make a sudden death clutch putt.
Oh.
It was a far putt.
Okay.
Curves in and stuff. He goes crazy, of course. I don't think I've seen Shaq golfing all that often. I guess they do it on the Black Masters.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, pretty clutch. He only makes the putts when he needs to. I don't know if he said that, but he should have. Like we mentioned, a lot of product placement in here, Skeets, because it is Shaq. Here's a list of the products that I saw while reading the book. The Shaq Gravity Spice Mill. $130 for 2 Gravity Spice Mills, which are just pepper grinders or salt grinders.
I was going to say, I don't even know what the hell that is, but that's all it is.
Yeah, but I think they're USB chargeable.
So,
you're not like
I don't have
to
crank it. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
of course.
$130 for the pair. There's the Shaq Smokeless 2-in-1 Indoor Electric Grill and Griddle.
Okay, so sort of George Foreman-esque.
A little George Foreman-esque.
Yeah, okay.
Shaq Digital Air Fryer.
Oh, didn't know he had that.
Shaq 2-in-1 non-stick rapid waffle maker and skillet. Shaq egg maker.
This is unreal, man.
And of course, the Shaq Smart IQ induction cooking station. All of this apparently is part of a QVC promotion, Cooking with Shaq, which premiered March 4th, 2020. Kind of ideal timing, since everybody was going to be in lockdown soon thereafter and had to start cooking. Imagine if you happened to tune in to see Shaq March 4th, 2020, and ordered the air fryer. Next thing you know, you're air frying nonstop.
Oh, man. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, it looks... I mean... That's what it is?
It's literally just an air fryer, but as you can see at the top, it says Shaq on top.
Oh, it does say Shaq. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I'm pretty sure all of these are products that they offer otherwise, but you would just get them in and say, like, Cooking Classic or something like that. It wouldn't necessarily say Shaq. I couldn't find any videos of Shaq's appearance, but I did find an active community forum from the time, 23 messages deep. A lot of great stuff in here. My favorite was this comment from Sage4 reviewing Shaq's appearance. Go ahead, Skeets.
I was just checking to see if anyone mentioned this. I was shocked when I saw him, Shaq, while flipping through their program lineup. I hope he sticks around. I just checked out his items. I wonder if they are bigger than the others. Hey, that's a good question. Don't you wish you could take him home? But where would you put him? LOL.
Such good questions.
Two likes on that.
Yeah, 2 likes. I would have given it another one, but thank you to Sage4 for some of my favorite stuff in the forum. User Sandy Sprinkles and user Mom to Chloe going back and forth about the quality of Shaq's gravity spice mill and the proper care for his stainless steel kitchen tool set. Now look, it chips easily, okay?
Oh no.
So you're going to want to hand wash your utensils. You're going to want to hand wash your utensils. But the best part is that Sandy Sparkles and Mom to Chloe break down Shaq's first appearance on the network. Apparently, his maiden voyage was a little rocky.
Oh, no.
But he did improve. At some point, they call him Shaqasso because he, quote, meticulously glazed his salmon. And everybody wishes he could get paired with Skip Connelly, but
oh my God,
Skip Connelly.
These people got out more.
Skip Connelly, man, is he still with QVC? I couldn't really tell.
Oh really? Was he like a legend? Was he? He could sell anything.
Skip has chemistry with everybody.
Oh okay.
Yeah, it seemed maybe the host at the time was a little overwhelmed by Shaq, but Skip and Shaq, the perfect pairing.
Oh, yeah.
I did like what Sandy Sparkle said to Mama Oho, who uploaded that photo of the air fryer. Sandy Sparkle said, "Congratulations on your treasure." Your treasure. Sandy Sparkles is in.
Yeah,
Sandy's, like I said, 23 messages, probably 15 were from Sandy and Mom to Chloe. There's also a lot of other events and mentions of Shaq's things that Shaq has been involved with, including Shaq's Funhouse Super Bowl party with Gronk and Party with a Purpose, which was a virtual party with Gronk. I think Gronk is Shaq of the NFL. Right?
Yeah.
Like he's like a big man-child, one of the greatest players ever, has a hilarious personality that draws everybody in.
I'm trying to think of somebody else, and he's got. He's just a goofball.
Yeah, he's so lovable.
Yeah.
Went to like wrestling and stuff, and people like you put the belt on because he's exciting. There's also Shaq's Big Chicken restaurant features quite heavily in here. Apparently there are 40 locations, plus it's on 4 cruise ships, and there's an 8-episode web-based reality show.
Okay, hold on. What's the name of the restaurant? I've never.
Shaq's Big Chicken.
This is a real place.
This is a real place.
You've ever seen one? I haven't.
I don't know that I've laid eyes on one, but I was looking. I was like, should we go visit one? Is there one nearby? There's none in Georgia. They are in Vegas though, so we could go in Vegas, perhaps. He mentions that he's the owner of a Krispy Kreme in Atlanta and the global spokesperson for the brand. He takes credit for the Shaq-a-roni, which he came up with for Papa John's.
And that's just a lot of pepperoni.
Over 60 pepperoni, edge to edge, thank you very much. An insane amount of pepperoni. Sure. And something I didn't remember, Shaq apparently was an early partner and strategic advisor to the iconic soup company, The Original Soup Man. That set a trigger in my head. I was like, what? So I looked it up. Of course, there's a picture of Shaq when he signed up to be a spokesman for The Original Soup Man, who is like related to the Seinfeld character, No Soup for You. Shaq was instrumental in getting their mobile food soup trucks out.
Wow, okay.
This is a crazy interview because he's talking not only about his investing with the original Soup Man, but also how he got in with Tout.com. Remember Tout?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah.
It was like a Twitter competitor early on. I think he maybe could record videos or something like that. So he's talking Soup Man and he's talking Tout at the same time. I don't think either of them are big parts of his portfolio.
Okay.
At this time.
Slivers, okay.
Yeah, that was the product placement segment, which I thought just incredible stuff to see the way he just seamlessly integrates this kind of stuff into his blurbs.
So I'm seeing here like article headlines. This is now like sort of being refreshed here in my memory. He was like huge on Twitter. Like he was like maybe one of the biggest Twitter followers, right, to begin with.
Oh yeah, he is maybe the first person to ever be verified.
It's something like that. Yeah.
I need a fact check on that, but he was like one of the first celebrities that was there.
But then obviously Tout comes along,
yes,
throws a bag at him, I'm sure. Somebody, I bet, just said, "How much you making on Twitter there? I see you're verified and you have over 10 million followers." And he turns to somebody. Hey, what am I making on this? I said, I don't think anything.
These are free tweets.
Tout comes along and they throw a bag at him. He's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll retire from Twitter and I'll go to Tout. But of course, he's still on Twitter. So
yep, and maybe still on Tout. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't have a profile.
Hey, if you're in the stream team right now, let us know if you're on Tout. Share your Tout handles.
Yeah, we should become the official NBA podcast of Tout.
Yeah.
We could dominate the market share, though the market share is likely not very big.
No.
You also learn a little bit about Shaq and his life in this, and one of the sweetest parts of the book to me is that it kind of comes off as a love letter to his mom.
Okay.
In the acknowledgments, this is what he writes. Go ahead, Skeets.
My incredible mother, Lucille. These recipes are her heart and soul, and in writing this book, we were able to bring back so many incredible childhood memories that we shared around the table with my sister, Aisha, and Latifa. That is nice.
Yeah. And that's kind of stuff shows up all over the place. On page 2, right away, he says, I want my mom to officially hang up her apron, retire her number, put her feet up, and watch General Hospital. He calls her the BBQ Chicken MVP. He says her meatloaf is world famous. And he says, if there's one thing I learned from my mom in the kitchen, it's that the secret ingredient is love. How sweet is that? This guy loves his mom. Nice. And he's like recreating some of her recipes from back in the day with help from his chefs and that kind of stuff. He also says a couple of times that he's motivated by his MBA. What do you think that stands for?
I love acronym.
This guy, the big acronym.
Holy, yeah. MBA. What was the context again? How'd you say it?
MBA. He's motivated by his MBA. Mom.
B. Mom. Go on.
Mama, babies, and associates. He loves his mom, he loves his kids, and he loves his businesses. Associates. It was a tough one, you know?
I didn't even get B.
Associates. Basically, what the book sounds like to me from reading it is he was in the kitchen cooking during the pandemic, and that's how the books got going. They're like, hey, you help us out in the kitchen sometimes. You want to talk about it? Sure. You also learn Shaq's favorite food, and first and foremost, it's got to be barbecue chicken. Yes. There are so many mentions of barbecue chicken in this book. There is, of course, a recipe for it and some recipes inspired by it. In fact, there are quite a few things that are barbecue chicken, including on page 11, Skeets, the usual definition. During my time as an analyst on Inside the NBA, I've been known to issue barbecue chicken alerts. That's when a player is going to smoke another player. It's a player who's the truth, looking at his opponent like he's something you can cook, roast, and eat up all game. That's barbecue chicken. That's a pretty good definition of it. That's barbecue chicken. Yeah. I've never seen it written out like that. Yeah, I was going to say, I've heard him say it a million times, and you know what he means, but he really lays it out there. So that is the metaphorical barbecue chicken. Okay. There's also actual barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken thighs, which he has on the menu. But this is where things get a little confusing, is when he's talking about another recipe. And he calls it as well. Go ahead, Skeets. Okay, hold on. Quote, this is Shaq here from the book. This burger is my Southern-style homage to game-watching nights in front of the TV. An epic griddled smash burger with a pimento cheese sauce to top it off. That's barbecue chicken right there. What? Hold on. Can a burger be barbecue chicken?
Wow.
Lot of ethical conundrums there.
Yeah.
Can it be barbecue chicken if it's a burger?
Well, if an NBA man can be barbecue chicken, why can't a grilled smash burger? I guess is the counter to that.
Great to know. If a smash burger can be barbecue chicken, then we got to give a pass to salmon. Take this dish. It's so clutch. You could say it's barbecue salmon.
Oh my God.
And on page 155, pork. Almost. This meal is what I like to think of as barbecue light. It's like a barbecue pork chop sort of deal.
I was dubious when you pitched this idea, this book. I'm like, okay, yeah. He slapped his name on it just like all these other products.
Yeah.
And he let these other people come up with the recipes and probably write the whole thing, obviously take the photos. And I'm sure there's some truth to that. But all these quotes that you've pulled, it does feel like they were like, hey, Shaq, what do you think of your barbecue chicken? And he just went on this little run.
What is
rant,
barbecue chicken?
And they're like, we'll put that in. Great. Thanks, Shaq. Next page.
Yeah, so that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 mentions of barbecue chicken. Half of them are chicken, half of them are not. Some are humans, some are burgers.
Some are sort of salmon, some are burgers. Yeah.
That's barbecue salmon. I hope he drops that in a game sometime.
Yeah. Now, what would be the basketball definition of that?
Barbecue salmon. Like a guy coming in off the bench and getting 20 points easily or something like that. It's, it's a little less than barbecue chicken.
Dare I say, it's almost like salmon to me, a little more exotic than just chicken. So maybe it's like an international player.
Okay.
From the Baltic, from the Baltic area. They fish a lot. It's like, I don't know.
That's barbecue salmon right there.
Yeah.
His other favorite food is Frosted Flakes. He mentions it on page 1. Frosted Flakes remains one of my favorite foods to this day. And then on page 93, he writes this, Skeets.
Yeah, okay. Quote, you can find Frosted Flakes in my pantry pretty much any time. It's the best cereal ever created and my all-time favorite snack. Even if Tony the Tiger once said he thought he could dunk on me.
I thought, what? When did Tony the Tiger ever say this? But guess what? Shaq did a commercial with Tony the Tiger. Let's take a look.
No way.
No, really, I think I could dunk on you.
Maybe, but I bet I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes more than you.
You are funny.
It's the truth, Tony.
Come on, buddy, my picture's on the box. Tiebreaker. Who's got the deeper voice?
They're great. I win.
I win.
I win, Tony.
Oh, you're cute when you're wrong.
And I still love these more than you.
No way.
Same time tomorrow, Tony?
Yeah, see you then, buddy.
All right, love you.
The love you at the end.
That is the most pandemic-looking commercial I've ever seen. It literally has a zoom. It's so good. We can't get Shaq and Tony in the same room.
No. Tony is still testing positive.
This dude loves Frosted Flakes. On page 83, Shaq says oatmeal will never be Frosted Flakes. That one sent me. There's a recipe for Frosted Flakes crusted French toast. He's got like a Frosted Flakes chocolate chip cookie.
Jesus.
It's like somehow involved in chocolate chip cookies. On page 213, he writes, after I won my first championship, Wheaties asked me to be on the box, but when I was a kid, we couldn't afford Wheaties, so I became a Frosted Flakes guy, and let me tell you, I never looked back. Interesting.
Huh.
I have seen him on a Wheaties box, but not until he won a championship with the Heat. He also...
You know what's interesting about that? Just jump in. I always thought Frosted Flakes was a bit of a more expensive cereal.
Because of the sugar coating?
A little, yeah.
One extra step in the process?
It was like diamonds on those things. I don't know. Like, to me, there was cheaper cereals that we had.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Frosted Flakes was like, oh, we're living this week. All right.
Yeah.
But... Okay.
It worked out for Shaq in the long run. Like I said, he got a Wheaties box, but he also did do a collaboration with Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes with cinnamon basketballs.
Oh. Okay.
Never tried them, but I like Frosted Flakes. And he was apparently on a Fruity Pebbles box. I don't know how that features him, but he was on a Fruity Pebbles box.
It's more at this point, like, what cereal has he not been on than what cereal boxes has he been on? You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. He hasn't, I don't think he's been on a straight up Frosted Flakes box. I feel like it's a carrot they keep dangling in front of us. We'll give you your own cereal, but are you getting on the main box?
It's
not yet.
It's just a game to him at this point. You're like, I'm getting on that box.
Other favorite foods of Shaq, pancakes. He writes, quote, I love pancakes so much they should be called flap shacks. Though he does say
This guy really just wants to take things that already have a name and change them. He's like, no, we're not calling burgers grilled smash burgers anymore. We're calling them barbecue chicken. Wait, what?
It must be so confusing in his house.
No doubt.
Everything has a different name or a Shaq name.
He's like, hey, do you want a burger? You're like, I love a burger. Yeah, he brings you chicken. You're like,
what?
Hey, do you want some Fruit Loops? I'd love a bowl of Fruit Loops. He brings you oatmeal. You're like, I don't know what's going on. He just keeps changing things.
He says waffles have grown on him since moving to Atlanta.
Oh.
Makes sense. Waffle House, very popular here.
Waffles are superior to pancakes.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the nice grooves to catch everything.
What do you think, Ash?
Yeah. Am I wrong in that, Ash? I see you nodding. Feels like...
Yeah, I'm a big waffle guy.
Yeah.
I would prefer a waffle over a pancake any day.
It's got a little crispy. Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Okay.
All the syrup gets in a little hole.
Yeah. For sure.
Fill it up. Nice. Shaq also loves sausage. There are 2 recipes in here that call for 2 pounds of sausage, though the maths say after both of them, if you don't like sausage as much as Shaq, you can cut the amount in half without a problem.
Okay.
2 pounds of sausage for a casserole, man. That's heavy. That's a heavy one. Oreos come up a lot. Why do you think Shaq loves Oreos?
Because he sponsors, brand sponsored. I don't know.
Probably, but dunking is in his DNA. Got him.
Of course.
Okay, what do you think Shaq's favorite vegetable is? He mentioned it a couple of times.
Popeye? I mean, spinach?
Yes.
Because of Popeye?
Exactly right. Here's what Shaq says on page 59. Remember when I told you that spinach was the only vegetable I'd eat growing up because I thought I was Popeye? Well, not a lot's changed.
Oh, so he watched the cartoon.
Yeah. Saw
Popeye squeeze the can into his mouth, hulk up, save olive oil. Does he like olive oil and things?
Interesting. I don't remember what cooking oil he uses in the book.
Anyway. And then so he was like, oh, that's how I get big and strong. So I'll do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
spinach is very good for you.
Superman tattoos, and spinach is his vegetable. There's only one food that I could tell that Shaq totally hates, and that is bread pudding. Here's what he writes about a couple of times. Take it away, Skeets.
Bread pudding. Okay, you could call this a breakfast bread pudding, except I won't call it that because I've never tried bread pudding and I never will. You can keep your foo-foo creme brulee and your bread pudding. Why would you eat that? Is it bread? Is it pudding? But you're telling me, is there a recipe? There's not a recipe for bread pudding in here.
Not a chance.
So he's like, no, yeah.
I'll cook anything except for bread pudding. He hates it.
That is, it would have taken me a million guesses if you said, what's one food Shaq hates?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think he hates bread pudding.
I agree. I mean, it's pretty good.
It's good. I mean, like, I don't love dessert, but I like it.
It's kind of like French toast, but at dessert.
Yeah.
Kind of. But I think part of it is that at one point in the book, he says he doesn't like foods that sound like they're a combination of 2 foods. He's like, banana pudding ice cream? Ugh. I like ice cream and I like banana pudding, but put them together, no way. So, I mean, that would put you off bread pudding because bread pudding sounds weird.
He really gets caught up on the name of things.
Yeah.
And wants to change the name of things and mash things together, but don't put 2 things together that I don't like. Okay, that's fascinating. That's a little quirk about him.
That's a little quirk about Shaq. Doesn't like bread pudding, least favorite food. You definitely get a sense from the book that Shaq ate crazy when he was young and came into the NBA. Here's what he writes on page 111. Before games, I'd always eat 2 club sandwiches, some fries, and 2 pineapple Fantas. But they weren't just 2 slices of bread and a sad slice of turkey. They were sandwiches.
See, again,
sandwiches. After games, win or lose, it was more sandwiches. And he also says...
After games, win or lose, it was more sandwiches. That's a great line for a shirt.
Win or lose,
it was more sandwiches.
Win or lose, more sandwiches. That's a great shirt.
That is a good shirt. Okay. And what's a sandwich?
A big sandwich.
Like a thick sandwich?
A very thick sandwich.
Yeah,
that's a sandwich.
So he's jamming thick and sandwich together.
Not sandwiches, Ernie. He also says, when I would get home late after a game, I'd go right for the fried chicken drummies or Frosted Flakes, but that's another recipe for another time. He calls Frosted Flakes and Famiches his performance enhancers, and he says it was not uncommon to have a dozen egg omelet alongside a stack of pancakes with grape jelly multiple times a week.
Holy moly.
Shaq used to play himself into shape.
When he came into the league.
Yeah.
It was pretty thin, and
Yeah.
I mean, then he got big.
Well, yeah, you can eat like that when you're 22.
Yeah.
Eventually, he got bigger. But I think that's part of the reason for this book is because he's trying to clean things up. Here's what he says on page 135. Take it away, Skeets.
Okay. When I started to lose my form, thanks to too many middle-of-the-night sandwiches and Oreos, I realized I needed to clean things up. I said to myself, I want to take my shirt off on Instagram one more time.
He has.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, he has.
Right.
I went to Shaq's Instagram thinking, I'm going to see several shirt-off pictures.
Okay.
But you had to scroll
Pretty
4
far?
or 5 times.
Right.
A lot of tank tops. A lot of tank tops for Shaq.
I feel like when he's DJing, he's wearing a lot of tank tops. Yeah.
He does look good though now. Like he actually looks awesome. I think on the cover of the book and the photos throughout. Like Shaq has gotten jacked. I don't know if it's from these recipes, but he's definitely gotten jacked. And he goes up and down with regards to how tight his body's looking.
I will say a lot of the recipes you've shared with us here today don't sound all that healthy. There's been like a lot of barbecue chicken.
Well, you probably want to stick to the Shaq diesel section.
Okay, I probably do.
For fuel for when you want things healthy-ish.
Okay.
There are some interesting recipes in there, so I guess it's time to talk about the recipes. I think there are 56 entries. Some of these come with like little sides to make alongside the main entree. Nothing super duper complicated. You got some slow cooker stuff in there, casseroles, some sheet pan meals.
Okay.
Quick, easy recipes for families. You can actually imagine Shaq making some of these. I do think with some assistance.
I don't know, but okay, sure.
You can imagine it because they don't seem all that complicated. But for our purposes, I separated these into 2 categories. The funniest recipes to imagine Shaq making, and then what I would make for Shaq if he came to dinner with no dunks.
Okay.
So we'll start with the funniest recipes to imagine Shaq making. On page 35, he has a recipe for a southern glazed bacon-wrapped meatloaf with creamed corn casserole.
Wow. I mean, it sounded all right.
That sounds good. There's a lot of good sounding recipes for sure, but he would have to make a meatloaf mixture, line a bread pan with bacon, bake the meatloaf, and then glaze it.
Yeah. No,
that seems like a lot for a meatloaf to me.
Yeah.
Similarly, or in a different way, page 85 is the pull-apart buttermilk biscuits and sawmill country gravy. And I just think it's very funny to imagine Shaq working cold half-inch cubes of butter into flour. Like I'm sure you've seen your wife making biscuits. Complicated.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You don't want that butter getting warm from your hands. Imagine Shaq.
His giant hands
in there,
squeezing
them. Same reason the cheddar crust for the chicken pot pie made me laugh. On page 115, Shaq has a recipe in the healthy-ish section.
Yep.
Roasted mushroom cheesesteak-ish sandwiches.
Okay.
So he's saying separate the meat, or take out the meat, you're substituting mushroom.
Yeah. Have you ever had one?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Shaq ain't made that. The guy's got 2 pounds of sausage in his recipe. He's eating a mushroom cheesesteak?
Probably
No
not.
way.
Probably not. No, I wouldn't think so.
Page 130.
But maybe he's tried it and was like, oh, pretty
this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's funny to me to imagine Shaq having a veggie cheesesteak-ish sandwiches. On page 137, sheet pan mushroom fajitas with avocado salsa. And the funny part to me, mixto tortillas. Have you ever made tortillas or seen somebody make tortillas?
I haven't made them, no.
These call for 1/16 inch thickness, so they're like so tiny and thin. Just imagine Shaq. He'd be great at like the press part.
Yeah.
He would be instrumental in that. I feel like sometimes I don't get enough pressure.
Yeah, he just two at once.
Man, a homemade tortilla though, delicious. A mixto tortilla. Page 152, spaghetti squash. He's got to prep squash, cook squash, let the squash cool, shred the squash, and then cook the squash again. Or you could just make spaghetti.
That's what it says?
No, but I'm like, that's what I would do. Spaghetti squash is good. He's using this as like noodles.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of steps to make pasta, or you could just get a box of pasta and cook it.
You could just do that.
And then finally, page 222. I think all of the desserts are pretty funny to imagine Shaq making. There's a banana pudding recipe. There's the Frosted Flakes cookies. I saw him making Oreo brownies with Stephen Colbert. He knew the recipe. He was doing it.
Yeah.
They came out okay. I don't know that I would call him Chicasso on this one.
Okay. Well, yeah.
A little sloppy.
A little sloppy.
A little sloppy, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
But there are some more recipes that are funnier. The coffee and donut bake with peanut butter dulce de leche.
Jesus. Fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whiskey peach cobbler with cinnamon maple whipped cream. And the funniest one to me, the hummingbird pineapple upside down bundt cake. Pineapple upside down cake, delicious. Bundt cake's very good.
Wow.
But man, I think Shaq would get very frustrated trying to get his cake out of the bundt cake pan. Those things are very sticky.
Yeah.
It never comes out right.
I feel like it was more believable all the other meals. It's when we've gone into the dessert here. I'm like, it's near the end of the book, I assume.
Section
like
7.
Your meal. He's like, somebody else do this one.
Somebody else do this one. I'm gonna whip, kids. Give me a couple hours. I'm gonna whip up a quick pineapple upside down bundt cake.
Yeah. Well, somebody do the dessert section, but don't you dare put bread pudding in there. That was his only rule, probably.
That's right.
Yeah.
No bread pudding allowed.
Yeah. And they were like, okay, yes, sir.
As for recipes we should make, we've got to take some inspiration from the book. Here's what Shaq says on page 5, Skeets. Don't forget to send me an invite for dinner sometime. Just make sure there's chicken.
Okay, this guy. Yeah.
No problem, Shaq. That's the #1 recipe to me, page 27, sheet pan, barbecue chicken thighs.
You think that's the go-to one?
Well, I feel like if Shaq's coming over for dinner, I would want to make him barbecue chicken.
He literally told you, there better be chicken.
There better be chicken. I'm doing a barbecue chicken. There's other recipes in here, like fried chicken. Like I think he has his mom's fried chicken recipe in there. One of the sandwiches from Big Chicken is in there. That's what everybody came in for, the Jerome. I think it's called the Uncle Jerome. But you got to get the barbecue chicken in there. So that's our main entree. Page 61, cheesy garlic biscuits. This comes alongside a skillet lasagna. We don't need the lasagna, but I wanted a side. I thought that was good. Maybe we could do cheesy garlic bread as another option. Page 20, the Smack Ramen Chicken Alfredo. Basically, Shaq claims this is his invention.
Yeah.
He takes standard ramen noodles, you're throwing out the flavor packet and the stuff that comes with it, and you're just basically using the noodles to make chicken Alfredo.
Yes. I did see somebody do this online.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did look pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, if Shaq says he invented that, I would like to make it for him. Maybe we'd leave the chicken out of it since we got barbecue chicken, but it does have broccoli.
Have you made any of these meals?
Not yet.
Not a single thing.
Not a single thing. I had to take the temperature to see what the people wanted. And honestly, I mean, my dream is literally to have Shaq come for dinner, make him a meal, and we're filming it and stuff.
Okay. You're saving it until that is locked in and he's coming.
You think I should practice that?
No, I say do it once. You said they're easy. Yeah. No stress, family friendly. Yeah.
I'm not stressing. Yeah. These seem easy. Page 140, charred poblano, kale, and cabbage salad with honey chipotle vinaigrette. The only reason I included this is because it is one of 2 salads in the book. I thought we needed a vegetable.
yeah, that's fair.
We're gonna want that.
What's the other salad?
Roasted sweet potato salad. Okay. I don't think you're a big sweet potato fan.
No, not. JD hates sweet potatoes.
Yeah, so I thought this was.
I'm okay with them, but I don't love them.
How about black-eyed pea succotash?
Yeah.
Air fryer Brussels sprouts. those are like the main vegetables I saw that were straightforward.
Keep them simple.
And then for dinner, for dessert, I was like, we could go between the banana pudding and the Frosted Flakes chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, I think Frosted Flakes have to be involved some way. So
sure.
I think the cookies are the way to do it.
Yeah.
That sounds actually okay to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a full meal.
Cookie with a Frosted Flake sort of, I guess it's in it, right?
It probably gives it a little crunch.
Yeah.
You think he would come? Do you think literally Shaq would come to JD's house, for instance? I don't know. You have a good kitchen for filming.
I mean, Tass has the best kitchen.
Tass has a great kitchen for filming.
Tass has a really good kitchen. His wife is a freaking chef. Is he location? Where's Shaq living right now? How many houses does Shaq have?
We would have to wait till basketball season. Maybe he could come on like a Wednesday. We make him dinner, then he stays for Thursday at TNT.
I think the answer, oddly, is yes, but we would just have to catch him at the exact right time.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd have to be hungry. He'd have to be literally right outside the door. But otherwise, he would come in. He's just a busy man otherwise.
If we were still in the NBA TV studios, I think we could definitely do it because he would be there. He would just be around.
Yeah.
Shaq, I made you barbecue chicken thighs.
Like, that's the 2 times we shot anything with him. It was like, he's here, go. And you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, so I think it's possible. If not, maybe I'll make some on shorts or something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
I think a good thing, the way to wind things up here is with some trivia that I pulled out of the book.
All right.
As far as I can tell, there are 8 basketball players who get referenced in Shaq family style.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll break them down to you. There are 3 legends.
Okay.
2 of Shaq's contemporary centers, centers of his generation. 2 co-workers.
Yeah.
And 1 wild card.
Okay.
So let's start with the 3 legends. These are people who Shaq says he modeled his game after in the same way he modeled his cooking after his mom.
We must have a George Mikan.
No.
Oh, man.
Too early. Too early.
I thought he always brought up George Mikan.
He does.
Okay, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
No. Get me to the next
Wilt
Lakers.
Chamberlain.
There we go. Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. Okay. So Wilt's one of his legends.
Wilt's one of his legends.
Okay, I'm going to jump around. I know Yao Ming's got to be mentioned.
No Yao. Shocker, man.
That's amazing to me. How could you not drop we got 2 pounds of sausage in this casserole. I'd slow down Yao with this or something come on, let me edit the next one. Wow. Okay. Well, okay. Charles has got to be mentioned.
Charles Barkley. Smack ramen Alfredo is so easy that even Charles Barkley could do it.
Okay. See, that's good.
Bars,
see, that's what I was thinking. Kenny gets mentioned?
Kenny.
Oh, no. Kenny.
It's kind of surprised.
So Ernie gets mentioned?
No Ernie. Just Chuck.
So who's the other coworker? That's a bit of a...
It's more of an NBA TV coworker.
Oh, so 3D. Dennis Scott.
Nah.
No, Dennis Scott.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Other one.
Why did he get mentioned?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Should have wrote that down, I guess. The other legend, Bill Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Gets a shout out, and Dr. J gets a shout out.
Okay.
How about his 2 contemporary centers that also Hall of Famers from the same era as Shaq?
I mean, I'm going to guess a Patrick Ewing, but not him. David Robinson.
Not him. The other 2.
Alonzo Mourning?
Yep.
And who's the other? Dikembe Mutombo. Oh, there's one more.
One more. That's your favorite guy, man. It's your favorite guy. I thought you'd get this one right away.
Oh, Hakeem
Olajuwon, yeah. Bill Russell, Dr. J, Wilt Chamberlain, Alonzo Mourning, Hakeem Olajuwon, Isaiah Thomas, Charles Barkley, and the wild card.
Oh, wild card. Yeah. It's not Steve Nash.
It's not Steve Nash. Though
he
this guy
stole half these recipes from Steve Nash.
I was confused when there was a poutine, barbecue chicken poutine recipe. I wonder where that came from. This guy, I do think, played with Steve Nash. They were likely teammates on the Phoenix Suns, I think.
Interesting. And it's really random.
It is random. There is no way 90% of the people who have this know who this guy is.
But I do.
You know him. He's one of the great rollers of the past 15 years. He is just a great roller on the screen and roll.
Marcin Gortat?
Marcin Gortat, baby!
Wow.
Page 175. I don't always know my dumplings from my pierogies from my kielbasa. Marcin Gortat could tell you that. What? A Marcin Gortat reference. I fell out of the chair at this one.
Was that that wasn't like a dick joke at all, like no. Balls joke somehow.
I think he's just referencing different Polish foods.
Oh, I think he said kielbasa. Yeah,
I don't always know my dumplings from my pierogies from my kielbasa. Marcin Gortat can tell you that.
He's like the only Polish guy he probably knows. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. That one seems shoehorned in to me. All right, another trivia question for you. Okay. Which mushroom does Shaq call the Shaq of the mushroom world?
What's the big? It's got to be the big one.
Oh yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on it. Portobello.
Portobello.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Page 115. It turns out when you roast some monster portobellos, the Shaqs of the mushroom world.
He's not wrong.
I 100% agree.
Yeah. Now you could say Yao Ming's of the mushroom world, I guess. But, much bigger. Yeah.
the Wembies of the mushroom world.
Yeah.
What was like a long, skinny one? Chanterelles? Are those long, skinny? No, morels are skinny. They're kind of short, though. Final trivia question. Of which dessert does Shaq say this? Let's see it real quick here, Ash. Honestly, if desserts were basketball players, blank would be the all-star, championship winner, Olympic gold medal winner, Hall of Famer, MVP.
This dessert...
What dessert does Shaq think is basically the GOAT of desserts?
Oh, wow. Does he just... Is this guy just a cookie man or something?
No, he's a soup man.
Yeah, sure. He's the original soup man. I don't know. I have honestly no word. I have no idea what
I'll give you a hint. The 7th chapter, the dessert chapter, is named It Ain't Over Till There's Blank.
It ain't over till there's cake.
Banana pudding.
Oh, so he's weird. He hates bread pudding.
Loves
banana pudding.
Hates bread pudding, loves banana pudding.
Wow.
Banana pudding's pretty good. I actually had some on Sunday.
It is.
Went to a potluck and it was labeled Southern Grandma style banana pudding.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big like barbecue joint dessert, right?
Definitely. Yeah. He says Shaq used to make it. He says he used to make it with his mom when he was younger. You know, I'm sure throwing vanilla wafers on top. So, yeah, that's your Shaq trivia. A lot of fun reading through this book. I will make some of these recipes eventually. But the good part is that even if the recipes don't turn out how you want, Shaq has an idea. As he says, the very last line of the book, page 225, just know that me and these recipes got your back. And if all else fails, there's always Papa John's.
You didn't come up with this. This is in this book.
This is in the book, very last.
I mean, that is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, he's like, if it doesn't work out, just order the book. Just order the pizza that I make.
If you would like to print these recipes, I suggest using the Epson 4-in-1 printer with, oh my God. That's incredible.
Just know that me and these recipes got your back, and if all else fails, there's always Papa John's. Till next time, Shaquille.
Oh my God.
Consummate pitchman till the very end.
You have to respect it in a way.
Always
you
on
want to
the
roll your
grind.
eyes at it half the time, and then you're like, God, he never turns it off.
That's why they keep hiring him, man. He's gonna plug it until he's out of the game.
Yeah. And while he has his book, he's plugging 10 other things.
Yes. Yeah, he's doing plugs in a book.
He's literally the plug man. The
it
big
is pretty
plug.
amazing. This recommended for the Shaq or NBA fan in your life. I don't know if there's other NBA cookbooks. I have a Dallas Mavericks one.
Okay.
Like a Dallas Mavericks cookbook. It wasn't as entertaining as this because this definitely has Shaq's personality filtered throughout it. And, you know, like, he has been a part of our lives for 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
At this point. So that's the book, baby.
There it is.
If you see it at a garage sale, go for it.
Yeah. Get it for less than $5.
Yeah, if you're a cookbook collector, I mean, it's probably on Amazon at this point. Probably pretty cheap.
It is. It is. I was just looking at it. It's there. It has, like, really good reviews. This is the thing.
Yeah.
People are liking this book.
I mean, the recipes
It's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been out for a couple of years. The recipes are definitely things you can make, like, for a Tuesday night dinner at night pretty quickly.
I'm actually more shocked that he took until 2022 to have a cookbook.
Yeah.
Like, there's not one that they literally just put his name on in his face.
That's a great point.
It feels like there would have been.
Yeah.
At some point. Maybe there is.
Waiting for the time to be right.
Yeah, it's right. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Had to meet the right people, the right executive chefs. And, of course, all the testing that goes into it. I mean, think about, that took 30 years probably
maybe
to write
you've been
this.
working on it forever. Yeah. Well, kudos to Shaq.
Yeah.
I got to see you make one or two of these. We got to taste test these.
Okay.
They do look good.
Yeah.
But looks can be deceiving.
Looks can be deceiving.
Hell, with all these cookbooks, you don't even know if it's real food.
It's impossible to tell.
Right?
I mean, every photo looks incredible.
I know, but is it even real?
Is it even real? That's my weakness. Like, I can make food that tastes good, but just
looks like crap.
Yeah, I gotta. My next step is taking the artistic game to the next level.
All right.
But I don't know. We should make some of these.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
them out and something like that. So yeah, let us know. And if you see another NBA cookbook, send it in.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We got Survivor is returning. No Buffs will be back in a couple weeks. Nora I can't remember. I think it was for Christmas. Bit of a gag joke. I have a Boston Rob Survivor cookbook. So maybe we can.
Excellent.
We'll do that one on No Buffs. Maybe we'll put that one in the feed. That's the only other one I have. Celebrity cookbook. But there has to be other NBA ones.
I would imagine there are somehow.
But I'm trying to think like who. Like you would think maybe Chuck would have one.
Yeah, Barkley would be high on the list.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was there anyone like that was like super foodie in the NBA?
You would think there would be a foodie. We got like Wine Bros.
That's right.
You know, who's going to be the foodie?
Yeah.
Chris Bosh?
Yeah, does LeBron have
Bosch's Squash?
Let's just name everything. Does LeBron have a cookbook? Let's look that up real quick.
Who else could have a cookbook?
LeBron James cookbook. Now, see, this is one where I'm like, was he really involved in this? It doesn't look like it.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out.
There's enough
Team said Darvin Ham. I don't know.
Darvin's Ham cookbook.
OJ Mayo.
How about the Chef Curry cookbook?
Oh, there you go.
Maybe the James Harden era when he was the chef for a little bit there.
There you go.
Stir it up. Yeah, okay. There's got to be
Quinn
other
Cook.
ones. We'll do them. Yeah, and you just gave us an hour breaking down Shaq's
It was an hour?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's unbelievable.
I was worried. I had 10 pages of notes and I was cutting stuff.
Oh, good. I thought you edited it quite well. And, you know, how many recipes were left on the cutting room floor?
So many.
You said there was 56, you think, total?
There's 56, like, entries, and a lot of those are, like, you know, carnitas with a cream corn casserole or something. So I got that too.
Pairs nicely.
Is that one or two? Yeah.
Pairs very nicely. Well, great work. Really like that review. If you did as well, hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, leave us a 5-star rating and review. The summer content. Really unique one there, which I actually enjoyed. Hopefully you did as well.
I've been wanting to do a book episode for a while.
Yeah, you had been talking about this.
I will listen to Maintenance Phase podcast and another one called If Books Could Kill, and they're basically like very similar to this, going through books. There's a lot of NBA books out there, and I thought about, you know, the Jordan rules would be cool to go through. 7 Seconds or Less. A classic, of course. I think those would both be interesting, but I read this, I was like, we gotta do it.
No, this is
too
great.
funny.
This is great. But yeah, maybe we'll start the No Dunks book club here, or at least the cookbook club. We're gonna be back later this week, though, probably talking about some of the NBA news. You know, what we had: Curry signed another extension. He got paid. TJ McConnell signed their 4-year multi-year deal with the Pacers. Grizzlies, Gigi Jackson, broken right foot.
Not good.
Not great here for the Grizzlies again, but we'll get to some NBA news a little bit later in the week. Might even hit the beach, so get your questions in nodunks@theathletic.com. Until then, Clipper Bros!
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, if all else fails, there's always Papa John's.
That's amazing. I can't believe you ended his book with that. Praise the day, people.